Are you thinking about selling your house? Here are 5 things you'll want to avoid.
All right, starting off the list today, this list would not be complete without this first one, and that is overpricing your house. This is an art and a science, really, to price your house correctly. When you overprice your house, you're doing a couple things. Number one is you're immediately eliminating many of the buyers who would be normally qualified for your house. They're going to create a search online, and if your home is priced above their search criteria, where it should be, they're not even going to see your house altogether online, and you are missing a big opportunity.
Statistically, the first 2 weeks that your home is on the market is when it will get the most views. As David mentioned, there are buyers that have predetermined search criteria, so they're constantly looking at new homes that hit the market. You want to make sure that you capture the attention of any prospective buyer, and if you price it too high, it may just sit there and you're going to miss out on that important window of opportunity.
Yeah, and the longer it sits on the market, the more kind of a negative connotation it has around the house. The buyers want to know why it's on the market so long. They could automatically start thinking that there's something wrong with the house, and your house could be in perfectly great, beautiful shape, but the longer it sits, people just tend to think something could be wrong with it, and that's what you want to avoid.
The second thing you'll want to avoid when listing your house for sale is skimping on repairs. Even small defects can turn buyers off. They may be cosmetic or they might be something more substantial, but if you are aware of something like a leaky faucet, chipping paint, things like that, you'll want to address it before you list the home for sale. It's going to present better in terms of aesthetics, and it's also something that they can't pick apart, when they're inspecting the house, or the home inspector does as well.
Yeah, and just thinking about getting into the buyer's mind, if they're walking through the house and they see some minor things that need repair like you thought of, or like you said, they're going to immediately start thinking, what else isn't this seller keeping track of? Is the seller maintaining the heating and air conditioning? Are they cleaning out the gutters? All these routine maintenance items, they're going to start to think you could be avoiding correcting those on an annual basis. All right, number 3 is not letting your emotions interfere with the sale of your home. Once you've made that decision really to sell your home and move on wherever you plan on going, you got to kind of treat it now as a business transaction. Not let the love of your house, the emotions and the memories you've had of raising your kids and having your family parties in there, whatnot, not letting those negotiate or interfere with the negotiations on the sale. So that can mean not letting the buyer's request for repairs derail the entire sale of your home.
Yeah, and an example of that is some people really customize and personalize their homes. You might have a special craft room or are very fond of the color peach. Maybe your DIY project was to paint your whole interior. Don't get offended when they discuss wanting to repaint it or ask for certain things done because your craftsmanship wasn't up to par, or some of your electrical work wasn't up to code. I mean, people tackle their own things in their homes all the time. Again, you have to kind of separate your emotion when it comes to the negotiations during the transaction. Now, the fourth mistake that you'll want to avoid is to fail to prep and stage your home properly before getting it on the market. We talk about this a lot. We talk about cleaning, depersonalizing, decluttering, and curb appeal. So, what would be an example of something that would be a fail in that category?
We've seen it quite often, and that is a whole entire wall of family photos in the living room or down the hallway or in the bedroom. We know you love your family, but it doesn't mean you need to show it off to the entire world when taking those photos for the house or doing showings. Those can feel cumbersome when you're walking through the hallway and there's a bunch of photos. So you would definitely want to minimize the amount of photos on the wall. That's just one example.
Yeah, and again, we want people, or you want people to envision living there.
Yes.
So, neutralizing, having it smell good, not having your family photos, all those types of things are kind of help with that vibe when prospective buyers are touring the home.
All right, lastly, for our list today, the top 5 things you want to avoid when selling your home is, we just mentioned prepping the home for sale, and you put a ton of energy and maybe some money into it. So the last one is not hiring a professional photographer. to make your house look its best when posting it online, because that's certainly where all the buyers are looking for properties first. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, so I don't know, fairly often we'll go over and kind of get a kick out of bad MLS photos.
Yeah.
Again, that's something you want to avoid. The efforts that you put into it, I mean, the goal is to sell your home and attract buyers. So hiring a professional photographer and not doing it yourself with your iPhone where you can be seen in the mirror is of utmost importance in our opinion.
So one thing to say on that is not all realtors will hire a professional photographer. A lot of them will take the photos themselves with their iPhone or their other camera phone, and those don't tend to come out the best. So when hiring an agent, make sure you hire one that is going to hire a professional photographer for the sale of your home.
So those are our 5 mistakes. There are more, but those are kind of the top 5 in our opinion that you'll want to avoid when listing your house for sale.
Thanks so much for watching this week's episode of our Did You Know show. What else do you think you need to avoid when selling your home? Put it down in the comments below. And obviously, if you can, please hit that subscribe button to see all of our future videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.